What is up, guys and girls? I'm Marwan from Morrow Media, and today I'm going to show you 5 tips how to kickstart your career as a freelance designer. So let's jump right into it. Tip number 1. And the first and foremost tip, you must be able to sell your product and your service. You must be able to promote yourself and sell yourself. If you want or not, as a freelancer, you are the company. You need to do the advertisement for yourself. Why is this is the first point? Because no matter how good you are, if nobody recognizes it, you won't get jobs. And if you don't get jobs, you fail as a freelancer. This is the main thing. And if I don't mean to say you need to be the best salesman ever, but you need to be comfortable with the idea of yourself selling yourself and learning the selling and learning how to promote yourself. This is the main thing. If you don't have a good time thinking about it and say you don't want to get into it at all because you don't like to sell yourself or your service, then I'd consider the freelance route. So this is the first point. You must be able to sell your service and your product and promote yourself and sell yourself as a person, because as a freelancer, you are the company. Tip number 2 on how to get the first client. Before you reach out to clients, I would say just make a portfolio on Behance or Dribbble. And how can you make a portfolio if you haven't had clients yet? Look for your current employee and talk to him if you can use the things you've done there for portfolio purposes. Sometimes they are quite nice, and it somehow works out if you have a good relation with them and there are no terms regarding of you are not allowed to use this and this from that company. And if you are just out of college, look for things you did in the college which you can maybe use, but I would be really picky about the stuff you are showcasing. Only showcase the stuff you want to be booked for. I won't showcase user interface design if I hate user interface design. It's maybe obvious, but I see a lot of people who are showcasing things, and I write them and say, yeah, I don't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, why the showcase? And this is the main thing, showcasing. If you don't have showcase at hand yet, I would just solve a problem you are facing with design, with UX design. You are on a website, you search something, and have a problem. You use an app or a service and you have a problem. Fix that problem with a nice user experience design, with a user interface. And really, the thing about showcasing is it's one thing only to show the end result. It's a whole nother thing to show your thinking process, how you came to the result. So really write down, I've experienced this problem, and I think this and this and that, and I tackled this problem like this, and this is the end result which solved this problem, which will lead to better conversions for the company, stuff like this, because people want to see how you get to the end result. Like your old math teacher who only says not the end result is important, but how you got there. This was, at least for my math teacher, I don't know if yours was like that, but yeah, you know the point where I'm getting at. Your thought process, how you think, make this a thing you show to your future potential clients. And make up showcases. Make up showcases without having clients, with free work at first. Or you could do free work for somebody and say, hey, I need it as a portfolio project, so this is why I give it to you free. Be aware that it's not an ongoing project which will keep all your time at that project, but maybe a small landing page for someone, just to showcase some work of you, so people get to know not only you but also your work. Point 3. Let's imagine your showcase went well, the client found you and said, hey, I'm looking for somebody who helped me out with this problem, with this project, and could we talk with each other? Could we meet on a Skype meeting or a personal interview? The first interview is really important, and I know you will be excited, and it's always the first time you get to, you need to get good at it, and this is why you are there and why you're starting out. And the thing to keep in mind is see the things not from your perspective, from the client's perspective. The client has a certain problem and he wants the problem to be solved. And a lot of people probably offering a solution to the client's problem. And the client is thinking, who will solve my problem with the least amount of risk and the best, and it's always a risk money game. So who is the least amount of risk with whom I get the most bang for my buck. So you always have to be confident enough that you can communicate to the client, hey, I can solve your problem. And this is not only communicated via voice and via talking. This is oftentimes communicated how you dress, how you behave, what your voice is like, and how you talk with each other. And this is really, really important. And at first I would not have a certain threshold for your daily rate, but please be realistic. If you're just starting out, you can have daily rates of $1,000. This is so you won't never get a job like that. This is the thing I meant at the beginning of this point. The client will see with whom I have the lowest risk, but still a reasonable price. This is the main thing. So be confident in what you are doing and sell the client. You sell them. It's an insurance. Communicate to the clients. Hey, I will solve your problem. Period. The fourth point. Now you got your first job. It worked out. And another thing to keep in mind when you are thinking of being a freelancer, starting out, make friends with the idea of constant learning. It's not like I've learned it and bye. You need to constantly be learning and growing. The media and the devices and the software is changing so rapidly these days that your default mode is constant learning. If you have a hard time with that, then freelancing is not something for you. So you need to be constantly learning and growing. And this is what I mean. You get your first job with one niche. You say, I'm the guy for this niche and I do this the best. This is how people get to know you, because they have a specific problem they want to have solved, and they get to you because you are the one who's solving these kind of problems. This is a niche thing. The other thing is, after a while, when you get into the client business and you get to know a lot of clients and things, then you can see and need to develop other skills so you can bring together things and you are more valuable. After your beginning phase, you have that niche. You need to be constantly growing. As someone who does user interface design and development is much more valuable for me as a client than someone who does just one of the things. So someone who's a full stack developer is more valuable. Someone who's a full stack developer and has knowledge in business and can talk business with me and is able to really talk like a business partner with me, or has SEO knowledge and other stuff, will be more valuable to me. Because in the future, machines are getting better at solving specific problems, but they are not as good as we are in bringing together the whole picture, the whole thing. So don't be afraid if you have to choose your niche at the beginning, because it's not like you will be doing this for the rest of your life. It's not set in stone. You always develop with the skills. You always look around what to learn, where to develop, and go the routes you're feeling comfortable with. Me, for example, I started with web design and development, which was a good combination at the beginning as itself, but now I'm currently building up an IT department at the company. This is like something different I started out with, but I can talk with the people like a developer or like a designer, and with the boss like a business person, because I don't say I design you a website. No, I'll optimize the machine of your business with the development department, so the machine runs more efficiently, which leads to more revenue for you. You get the idea. If you offer such a such a solution, you have a different standing in your negotiation about your daily rates, because you really bring value to the client. So this is the fourth thing to keep in mind. Sorry, I just had a little, I just went a little abroad. The fourth thing, constant growing, because you need to do that. You need to constantly grow if you want to stay good, be good, and stay in the freelance field. So, number 5, the 2 types of freelancers. So there are 2 types of freelancers. The first type is somebody who got into freelancing because the service he's offering is currently needed from the market, and he can make a living out of it, and he likes to do it because he likes to sleep in, have more free time, can take more days off. It's totally okay if the person who's getting into freelance business is aware of that fact. The second type is really being able to do bigger things than you are, and your employee, as an employee, being able to make bigger projects, to constantly grow, to get to know different fields and different areas. And it's like a running machine. You always develop your machine, you always optimize it, and you run more smoothly, you learn more and do more of these things. And the second type is more like a business owner. You are the business and the business owner yourself. And maybe you have a team who's helping you out, like I have. I have a remote developer who's helping me out, and somebody with the videos. And the first type, I think there's a hard future for this kind of type, because we will have software and machines who get better and better in solving specific tasks. So they will get better at solving this task than the freelancer, and they are obviously cheaper than the freelancer. So this is the thing to keep in mind. If you are a freelancer, yeah, make friends with really constant growing, constantly developing, and yeah, watch out for you to don't fall into the camp of the first freelancer. Yeah, let's do a little wrap up. I hope you could take something out of it. One little story: if you are struggling with getting into UX UI design or not, is I think if you really have the wish to do it, to try it, you always should try it, because failure is better than regret. Because if you later on, in a few decades, if you always ask yourself what would happen if I went for it, this feeling you will never get out of your head. But if you now went for it and you fail, you have peace of mind a few decades later. I know it sounds a bit pessimistic, since I'm currently into reading a lot of Stoic stuff from maybe Ryan Holiday this year, yeah. Yeah, but you should definitely go for it. I think if you are good in what you are doing, and you are a good salesperson, and you like to develop yourself and to better yourself, and are organized, there are really big chances for you in the freelance business, and you can really make a good living, get good at what you are doing, and if you have fun for it, it's really something I'd never exchange for any employee place. Speaking today, I don't know what the future will bring, but currently I love doing it, and I love this way of working and living. So you should definitely go for it if you think about it to start your career as a freelancer. I hope I could help you out with these 5 tips. Do you have more questions about this topic? Just comment in the section below, or write on my Twitter. My Twitter handle is always in the comment section, or just hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I could help you out, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.